So the highly controversial USAID gave Politico $8.2 million over a period of time. And I have so many questions. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, giving the U.S.-based company Politico $8.2 million over a period of about 5 to 10 years. Now, I have so many questions, but two main questions. First, why was the $8.2 million given? For what purpose? What was the reason? Second, how important was this $8.2 million? Was it the majority of the revenue? If that's the case, then are we dealing with state-sponsored media? This is a news website, if you didn't know. Is it state-sponsored media? Even if it was not the majority of the revenue, how important was it? Was it 5%? Was that 5% just enough to have them pay their bills and break even? I want to know the details behind this money. Now, let's go back right here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, usaspending.gov, and I'll just put it right here so you can see it better. Politico, $8.2 million for over 200 transactions. Now, let me go back to this view so we can kind of zoom out and look at the transactions. Now, you can see this is over a period of years, going back to 08. All right, 08, there's not much activity. 08, 09, 11. You're starting to see some activity in 2016. Now, what happened in 2016? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to take a wild guess what happened in 2016? Okay, if you don't know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But 2016, it starts to kind of pick up a little bit. Then 2018, a little bit more. 2019, not so much. And then 2020, 2021, 22, and then it skyrockets in 24. Okay, it skyrockets in 24. So why have there been so many payments for so much money to Politico from an agency that's supposed to help with foreign affairs, with foreign development and things of this nature? Anybody want to tell me? There's one more thing. Politico employees didn't get paid recently. Like within the past week, they didn't get paid. Now, they're talking about, oh, it's a glitch, all this, that, and the third. And before I even get into it, let's just read this that they put out to their team, and then I may get into what I think about them not getting paid and the so-called glitch. So look, dear team, Golia and I want to address this morning's payroll issue directly. Due to what we believe to be a technical error, employees did not receive their paychecks as scheduled. We understand the urgency of this matter and sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Our team is working diligently with our systems vendors and the bank to identify the root cause and implement a solution as quickly as possible. We will keep you updated as we learn more and work to resolve the problem quickly as possible. And then thank you for your patience and understanding. If you have any immediate concerns, please feel free to reach out directly. Okay. That is what they sent out to the employees because they were not able to pay them. Now they're saying it's a glitch, and I've read that they may have been fixed by now. And by the time you read this, it may have certainly been fixed. But a glitch? Why am I only hearing about Politico having this glitch with their payment system? And why was the glitch a thing after Trump and Elon and everybody else comes in to really examine where all of our taxpayer money is going? Did USAID money get frozen? And was that money going toward payroll? I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking. I don't know. That's why I ask. Now, before I go any further into it, let's check out this news clip in which the question about all these crazy expenditures is asked of our fantastic brand new White House Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt. And of course, this video and what I just showed you will be in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Been very clear. The policy of this administration is that there are only two sexes, male and female. Pretty simple. Brian Glenn.
Yes. USAID has gotten a lot of attention in the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding. Mm-hmm. Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USAID funding as well. Does the President have any comment on that?
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a...
Hey, that is what I love to hear. That is what I love to hear. And look, if you're going to be state-sponsored media, just say that. Just say that. And if you're not, then let's not be. Because again, USAID money is taxpayer money. Let's be clear. That's taxpayer money. That's your money. That's my money. That's our money if you're an American citizen.
Whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money?
Her face is like, what am I seeing something? Am I tripping, or is she making these weird faces? Like, what is it all about? But anyway.
If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
All right, so shout out to Caroline Levitt. I'm glad that we're going to stop that money from going to Politico. I mean, I'm not necessarily a Politico hater. I don't really read Politico at all. I've seen some of their things over the years. I don't really have an opinion about them, positive or negative, to be totally honest with you, because I don't really read the paper. So maybe they got some really woke, super left stuff in there, but I just wouldn't know. I'm not a Politico reader. I see them occasionally, but not enough to make a decision on them. At the end of the day, I don't think that we should have state-sponsored media unless it's clearly labeled as such. Okay, this is XYZ brought to you by the U.S. government, sponsored by the U.S. government. If that's what we're going to do, then let's let that be the case. And let's have the people have some say-so on what goes on. I mean, it's our taxpayer revenue. Let's have the people be a voice there rather than them being some kind of DC elite place that was somehow able to finagle themselves into the taxpayer's pocket. If I want to pay Politico a subscription, I'll do that. I don't mind paying a subscription to services that I want. Okay, I'll pay for New York Times. I'm not a New York Times fan, but I know that they're a big paper and I need to read it. And I'll pay for any paper that makes sense. I'll pay Washington Post, New York Times. I want to pay Daily Mail and also New York Post. I'll pay all those papers that I read every day. But don't take the money from me and my taxes and give it to a paper and then don't declare that it's state sponsored. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to all the Doge employees, the auditors getting down to what's really going on. Okay, why are we spending $100 million on trying to identify how many frog hairs a frog has on his legs? Why are we spending money on that? I just made that up right now as I'm talking, but we've seen some crazy things. We've seen some crazy things. Why do we give $8.2 million to Politico? For what? And this fund's supposed to be for foreign interests, right? I thought Politico was an American company based right in Washington, D.C. This is looking more and more like a slush fund, a bunch of grifting, a bunch of shadow monies, a bunch of corruption. It's not even about the dollar amount specifically, because somebody's going to say, oh, ABL, why are you mad? It's such a small piece of the pie. It doesn't really matter. Yes, it does matter, because corruption is corruption, regardless of what's going on. It doesn't matter if it's for $1 billion or $1 million. It's still corruption. And when you tolerate corruption on a quote unquote small level, you tolerate it on a quote unquote big level. What's the difference? You tolerate corruption in the government, and that shouldn't be a thing. So I'm all for getting corruption out of the government, for reducing wasteful fraud, abuse and whatnot of our government monies. Listen, I support that 100%. And I think the majority of us feel the same way that I do, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Politico getting $8.2 million over the Trump years, really? Because I showed you the graph. Prior to 2015, 2016, there was no activity. All of a sudden, it skyrockets through Trump's administration. Like, imagine that. Whatever your thoughts are on that whole situation, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. Yeah, label it what it is. Call it state-sponsored media. And maybe let us have a choice. Okay, we're going to take over a newspaper and it's going to be Politico. Do I have a say-so in the matter? I guess not. I guess not. Again, I don't mind paying for things that I want to actually use, but let it be my choice to pay for it rather than you just take the money from me, gunpoint, and then just do whatever you want. Set the money on fire, pay Politico, pay political opponents to spread misinformation and lies against the president. I don't want my money to be used on that. My money should go toward national security, taking care of my roads, my national security, things of this nature. You say taxpayer money is needed to go toward roads, to go toward schools, to go toward infrastructure. Okay, then why do we send $100 million overseas for transgender opera lessons in Brunei somewhere? Why do that? It doesn't make sense. It's a waste of our money. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.